greed and just probably, yeah, like just trying to rush. I think rush is the key thing, because it was all on, I would never do this on a funded account. Well, I did read before when I was years ago, just it is what it is now. So I got whipped out at break even, but my idea played out. So I've got to take that as a positive, I suppose, because I've got experience just in that career, in the music industry. It's just good business knowledge. It's not that it implements anything into trading. There's nothing to do with it, but you get a business mind from it because you've been in that industry so long and you've seen so many things and done so many parties and whatnot.
Hello and welcome back to another Alpha Capital Group Traders interview, where today I'm joined by a trader who has just received his first payout and he wants to tell you all about it. Trader, who are you and where are you from?
Yes, boys, I'm Andrew K and I'm from London.
Nice to meet you, Andrew. Thanks for joining me today. It's an absolute pleasure. So tell us, how long you've been trading, Andrew?
To be honest, about 4 years. It's been learning, just going through accounts and stuff. Obviously, at first, you going into a whole brand new thing. You know, you've got so many avenues of it. There's so much information to learn. So you got to just sort of find where you was at with it, you know? That's where, so about 4 years in total at the moment, mate.
4 years. So 4 years is quite a long time and you've only just received your first payout. So tell me, Andrew, why did you keep going for so long without actually seeing any results?
Because I think personally, when I had a strategy which I liked, if it failed, you're always looking for other avenues. Well, in that time of my life, I was always looking for something what could go with it, something that could help it out and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, it was just not sticking with my guns and just sticking to what I learned personally and what enjoy trading. That's the main thing. Like always trying to add on stuff. And to be honest, I was always over leveraging. So you'd be all right. I had that sort of mindset at first where you're so close to getting a funded account with 2 steps and you think, oh, I'm back testing, you've done X, Y, Z and blah, blah, blah. So you sort of think you have to rush it. And I think that is just the devil of all trading, is just rushing, because you don't think straight. You just over leverage, you don't set a sort of limit where it's like, this is my out point. If it goes over here, this is not my trade. You just keep in case. Next thing you know, you're down like 2-3%. And when you learn in the future, that's how you can't even trade like that. So what you're doing is just like insane anyway. So that's where I was at my fault, I think. I didn't stick to just a normal strategy and try and finesse it. I was always trying to add things on, over-learning about other things as well, not learning about the strategy I wanted, and just definitely over-leveraging and just risking way too much for glory in a short sort of instance. You want to get it done in a week and then blah, 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 you're onto a funded, blah, blah, blah. But that mindset is just, for me, the devil. You can't do that.
So would you say you really overcomplicated things these last few years then? You were trying to learn stuff that you didn't really need to know. You just had to perfect what you already knew. Does that make sense?
100%. I literally, don't get me wrong. I think the learning of it was amazing, because at first you're taking it all in. It sort of sponged into me, but I didn't get it. You know, you have to go back to notes and stuff. I had 2 books of notes and just everything I was learning, right? And any spare time I had, it was just like addiction to learn about it, right? So I just felt like I dived into the whole lot of it. But after a while, don't get me wrong, it was worth it, because it worked out where I'm at now and where I wanted to, how I want to strategize things and get on with the trade. So that's not a bad thing. It was just, I feel like I was mixing too much of it. And just like I said, once the feeling of blowing an account, like we've all been there, and you go, all right, the next one I'm going to get, I'm definitely not going to do this, or definitely not going to do that. And then the next thing you're doing, you're on that time frame you said you'd never do again, and you've got the same result. You might get like a little win at first and you're like, oh, see, it does work. And then next bit,
Does work, yeah.
Same thing every time. And then you can't get that. It's really up here. For me, it was really up here, just training myself to just be patient.
It's funny because we have a fair few amount of these interviews, and it always comes back to the same thing with what did you struggle with, or what was the hardest thing to overcome, or where do you think you've gone wrong in the past? And it always comes back to up here. Everyone struggles up here, and it is the hardest thing to, pardon the pun, but get your head around in trading. It's really difficult, and trading is also a double-edged sword in the sense of the educational side of things. Traders will go out there when they start and they'll learn a strategy, a simple strategy.
Yeah.
And then they'll watch another strategy video and another influencer or another mentor, and have 4, 5, 6 different mentors are watching. And then, like you said yourself, you end up taking in far too much knowledge and information that some of the knowledge, it clashes with what you've already learned from someone else. The educational side, it can definitely hold you back as well, because you can take in far too much information and it just ruins your progress. I do agree with that, definitely, mate. And it seems that that's kind of what you've been facing.
I think that's a major factor in it. And I think being unrealistic as well, because you're unexperienced on the chart, I think, and you think you've put the time in when really you need to put more. Even if you are doing your absolute everything, there's always more time to put in the chart. And I think after that, you sort of be realistic of your move, right? So if I was having an entry, you have to be realistic where this, just take it at this point, or at least go to break even and just ride your luck on the next part of it. But not doing that is just, I think that's just, for me, it was the killer of everything, because you're just aiming for yesterday's high. Do you see? And it was like, well, where are you going with this? It'd be up 800 quid. And then the next thing you know, you're at break even, and then you're like, oh, I'll hold it because it's going to go. And then you're at stop loss. It's just that simple. I was just not being realistic myself. I was just hoping to hit the belly straight away. You know,
would you say it was more greed than you was facing a massive issue with when it came to the two emotions out of fear and greed? I know they're the two we see a lot, especially at the beginning of everyone's journey. I feel like everyone experiences one of the two, fear and greed. So would you say it was greed that was really holding you back at this point then?
Greed, and just probably, like just trying to rush. I think rush is the key thing, because it was all on, I would never do this on a funded account. Well, I did read before when I was years ago. But on the challenges, I was just facing that. All I was doing is just trying to rush. And what I'm now set myself as is this is my business. This is why I want to get out of my 9 to 5 or my other career, because it's my own business. I get to control it, and I get to be wise of when you make moves or investments, you know. But when you're doing the funded challenge, I didn't think like this. So it's just mind-boggling, because you're just rushing. And then when you do get on a funded account, if you do go like that, you've lost it in a minute.
Now that we are seeing some sign of profitability, you've just received your first payout with Alpha Capital Group. Yeah. Is this your first payout in general with any prop firm, or is this just your first with us?
This is the first with you guys, but it's my first, which I'm proud of, because I had one years and years ago, which was, I'd say 4 years ago. It was luck, pure luck. And I can admit that now because of where I'm at now and what I'm trading now. So as much as I had it was only a few hundred quid, but as much as that was my first payout, I feel like this is my first payout where it's something where I've achieved something, because I've put the time in, I've stuck to what I'm doing each time, either win or lose, and this is showing the result. So this is my first payout officially, which I'm super proud of, and we'll move forward as that.
It's an absolute pleasure, mate, and it's amazing to see that you finally, achieved this payout. Well done, mate. Now, let's see the strategy that has got you this payout.
Right, so on the daily, I'll start just to go over things with my bias. Like for instance, today, to be honest with you, I thought we was more bullish just due to yesterday having this big wick down, taking a lot of liquidity, and there was equal lows at this point. So I thought, to be fair, we'd be pushing up to the previous week's high. But when I woke up in the morning, obviously you check in the morning, I wanted to see the inversion of this fair value gap. So at the moment it broke through. So that's what I trade. I trade inversion fair value gaps, and it's down to recent liquidity. So this would be traded through. This is the hour. So it carried on trading down. What I wanted to see was a pullback into that area to test it. But also, I saw equal highs at this point here. So unfortunately, it didn't reach it. But if it did, I would have tried to take something. If it would have maybe hit the daily true open, I like to use that as like a sort of equilibrium as a price. So it's just where I'm at for the day. If it's trending down or if it's trending up, it's a good place to buy or sell above or below, depending on your daily bias. So obviously this one didn't come through, but like I do one in the morning also. It's the Asia grab. So it'd be literally a sweep of liquidity from each side of the Asia session, which starts at 1 till marked up till 5. And it's nice because there's not too much movement in the market at that time because the American session starts quite late at 2:30. So this is the London session. So I like to see a sweep of the high, in this occasion, inverse the fair value gap here, and then just write it down to the low. And it's just a small risk, high reward in that sense. And if that happens most mornings, that's just a nice start to the day without too much pressure. And you've still got your whole day away from the charts. So then look in the American session, the New York session, sorry, to see if there's any more opportunities. Like I said, I was waiting for this today. Yeah, it didn't come through. But yesterday, look, I'll mark this one out. Well, I did take it, but I got wicked out here. It came up, it dropped during the New York session, had a little go back up for a retracement, took this internal liquidity here, inversed, and then kept going down. But what I done was after it hit that fair value gap here, I went to break even because I just thought if it hits that and there's a reaction, it could come up and take this liquidity here and have some stop loss. And I just thought, all right, just be safe. Just, it is what it is now. So I got wicked out at break even, but my idea played out. So I've got to take that as a positive, I suppose,
It's still a mental win. That's what I tell myself when this happens, definitely. Tell me a little bit more about your risk management then, because you've got a very simple strategy. So I want to see what kind of risk management plan you've got when it comes to this.
I don't really risk more than anything more than 1%, mate. So if I do a 10 slot, it will be $500. So that works out to 1% of my account. And most time that's max. If I get a close, or like for instance, if I was holding this trade, sorry, let me get that. If I got a close above this fair value gap, I would probably close the trade because it shows me that it's not respected my inversion. So ideally, then if that did happen, it might close there. It would be even less. It'd probably be maybe 0.7%, something like that. No, from that. So to be honest, that is all I'm doing because everything I used to do previous, I didn't do that, and that's when you get in trouble. If you lose a trade, you're always trying to over leverage, and then you're doubling down in a way, and it's just going to go downhill. So I just feel like you keep this minimum risk, and I just feel like it shows that you're a consistent trader and that you like sort of know where your limit is.
No, 100%. Thank you for showing us that. It's a very simple strategy, isn't it?
That's it, mate. That's it. It's all I do because like before, like I said, if I got this inversion here, right, and I was being unrealistic, I could look that there was equal lows here, which you could have held it to, but look, it swept these equal lows, perfect. But I would be holding ridiculous ones, like unrealistic down at these maybe daily lows, and it was just stupid. It was so ridiculous. I was round when I think about it. So with this, it's minimum risk for me and it's high reward. Because if you look at it, look, that's 163 pips. That's $1,630 for risking 500, maybe 300 max. And to be honest with you,
you've got a really nice risk to reward there as well.
That's what I mean. Do you know what I mean? And really and truthfully, like, look, if this did, say, for instance, it hit that fair value gap, reacted off it. So if I didn't, for instance, go break even if it came back down and took that low, I could then trail the stock.
Exactly.
Even if it did have a big reaction after taking this low again, I could have collected around here, and God knows what that would have been. That would have probably been 300-400 quid. So either way, it's just a simple strategy which pays off 8 out of 10 times. And if you keep your risk to reward exactly how it is, you should be all right.
How do you go about deciding where you're going to put your stop loss and your take profit then?
Because so basically, so you see this inversion, so this fair value gap here is a bullish fair value gap. When that's traded through, it's an inversion. So if that closes above, for instance, then that's ideally where I'm out. But what I will do is I'll put it, if it's, so for instance, if it's 30 pips, which it should be around that normally. I wouldn't do these massive fair value gaps where it's like a 50 pip fair value gap, because I just see that as an imbalance. So I don't think it'll hold as much as these ones, these little shorts and sweet ones. So that's 30 pips. For instance, now, because it's on the 5 minute, it has to close above it. So it can push through a little and come back in. So I like to put it at the high, or at least at max 1%, which will be 50 pips. And then just see what happens. So from there, because if it does push up a little bit, I can, within say 2 minutes to go, and wicks me out and then comes back down, it's just lost money for no reason, you know.
And I take it in terms of take profit, then you're just looking for liquidity levels.
Liquidity levels. Like for instance, if there wasn't equal lows here, I would have gone here, just at that session liquidity.
Got you. Okay, well, thank you very much for sharing that with me, Andrew.
No problem.
Are you trading full time at the moment, Andrew, or are you a part-time trader?
Part-time trader at the moment. Well, so basically I've had a career in music. I've been a professional DJ for the last, God knows, 13, 14 years. I've played around in some of the world's biggest clubs. Held a residency in London's biggest club, Studio 338, for 8 years. So yeah, I had a big career in that, and something what lives deep inside me is it's a passion, you know. So yeah, but unfortunately, as much as effort I was putting into it, it doesn't pay the bills the way I wanted it to. And it's just down to the industry and how it works. It's a very manipulated industry, I feel. It's it's not a nice place to be, but sometimes every industry can be the same. So it's what it is. But I just felt like where the effort I was putting in, and over the years I've done it, I was like, I started when I was 18, now I'm 34, and it went like that. And I was like, wow, like now I'm 34, and them whole weekends felt like yesterday. Like, we were playing at festivals and this, that, the other, but it was over such a long time. So I was just tired of basically it was a vicious cycle. You do your gigs on the weekend, and then it would take you 4 days to recover, because you'd be just that party animal for that weekend. And it's just, after that, you're just in a coma for 4 days, and you can't do nothing, right? It's just one of them things. And as I was getting older, I was like, look, unless you go completely sober or calm it down, you're not going to be able to do that, right? And especially when you get old, you don't have them same want to do them things when you're young. It's like, you're young, you do what you got to do. But it just wasn't paying the bills the way I wanted it to be. And I just hated the fact that I was doing all this work, and then I was giving everything I was done to a management or an agency. It was to do my bookings and stuff. It was like I was doing so well on my own, and then you get promised a dream. So basically, like the Man United of booking agents came in for me, basically, and promised me the dream. But then it was just like, I just thought about it realistically. You're not going to get Ronaldo out of the team if you're just a person coming in. Do you see what I mean? And it was hard to get those bookings like that. And I just hated the fact that you're putting all this work in and you're passing it to someone to do the rest. And I just thought,
so you almost wanted to take control of your career and start trading.
Because I've got experience just in that career in the music industry. It's just good business knowledge. It's not that it implements anything into trading. There's nothing to do with it, but you get a business mind from it because you've been in that industry so long and you've seen so many things and done so many parties and whatnot. But I hate the fact that you have to give it to someone and then they're the ones who are going to get you there. I'm not on that. I want to do it myself. And all this effort I've put in, if I put this into, look, I can make music. Like that's hard enough. You know, like you're making drum beats and melodies and this, that, the other. So like if I put that energy into this, I can do exactly what I want for myself, you know, with freedom, you know, and hopefully just build a great relationships with people along the way, instead of always trying to battle with people, instead of who's the biggest DJ and who's the biggest artist at the moment. It's just, when you're young, cool, you can enjoy it, but I'm at peace. I don't want that, you know, like, who's doing better? I don't care. Good luck. I just want my peace, like wealth for my family, good health for myself. That's it. I don't want the battle no more. The battle's cool. So I just feel like me learning this, one day this will pay off for my music, because I'll just be able to do exactly what I want in that industry and just disrupt it completely. See, it needs to be. It's so manipulated, and like, you can be the greatest record collector in the world, the greatest one. But if you don't have an image, or you ain't got 12,000 followers on Twitter or whatever, they're not booking you. They're not interested. And I just think that's ridiculous. You be into music, electronic music, and not aspire to other DJs of their record collection. It's crazy. That's what it should be about. So I'm ready to one day, hopefully, with this whole, me putting energy into this and being my own self-made boss, I can then create something in that industry, you know, and help people who are actually talented and deserve a chance, you know. I think it's key to help people. It really is.
That's amazing, Andrew. It's a real goal to have. You know, you're not doing this. It's very selfless. You're not doing this for just you. You want to actually go out there and help the industry that you love and you've got a passion about, and help other creators and musicians like yourself. I mean, my brother is also a musician, so I relate with you on the sense of I understand how hard it is because I see how hard he works, and it's a very technical industry. It can be quite toxic, and so I do understand where you're coming from. But it's great that is your why. That is why you're working so hard, and that is why you want to succeed so much, because you want to make the industry better. It's really amazing to see.
Just because I just think there's a huge gap for it. I just think at the moment it's run just by the same typical people, and if they want to make someone a superstar, they can, because this club wants to do them a favor because they can get X, Y, Z for cheaper, you know? And no one wants to talk about it because they just feel like they won't get booked and whatnot, like things like that. But I'm just tired of waiting on people and just putting energy into things. And then because someone else's energy is not there, it doesn't go anywhere. And I'm just hitting a brick wall. And it's just mind boggling. So I just think, you know what? As much as I love that scene and how much I miss it at the moment, I have to focus on my life and create a why, like I have, to get back into it and really rustle feathers. I think that's what I want to do.
Well, the power's in your hands now. You are doing very well with Alpha Capital Group UK. You've just received your first of many payouts. So let me tell you now, Andrew, I can definitely tell you, you're on the right path to go ahead and get all those things you're chasing. You know, I can see you want this. You've got good reason behind it. And like I said, so far you're smashing it. So just keep doing what you do.
Appreciate that. Yeah, no, I really do appreciate it, mate. Like from the time where we got in contact with the risk interview, because like I said, you was unbelievable through that, really and truthfully. Like you made me feel so at ease. It was just like speaking to a friend in a way, to be honest with you. And after that, when she invited me to this, I'm so grateful for the opportunity, like I said. So hopefully I'll keep getting good percentages with you guys, and yeah, impress you guys to hopefully be a part of you guys one day.
Mate, there's plenty of opportunities out there, and I'm not sure if you've heard of Alpha Prime.
I saw it online, but I wasn't too sure what it is. So if you're going into it, yeah, definitely let me know.
Well, if you want to be a part of the Alpha Capital team, that dream could come very true very soon, because Alpha Prime is a trading floor in London that we are opening on Canary Wharf, where a trader, any Alpha Capital Group or Alpha Futures trader, can be selected to go and trade on a live trading floor, trading Alpha Prime's fund. So you can get yourself on a real live trading floor, trading millions, and have no university certificates. We are literally going based off of your analytics on your dashboard.
Nice. Wow. So that's a goal for me. But there's another why then, right? Because like I said to you before, obviously, it's not like it is, as much as trading's brilliant, right? It's about, I feel like a lot of people miss out on the key factors a bit. I think they make it lonely. And I feel like if you're in touch with the right people, you can have such a great relationship with people and meet and learn as well from people. That's something we do, and just like be a part of a team, man. That's what I want to do as well, to be honest, like we spoke about before. So, mate, if the opportunity's there, like I said, I want to keep impressing. Just keep an eye out for me.
It's funny you say that, because I actually had this conversation with someone yesterday on the interview that trading is a very lonely space. It's a very lonely environment. And they said the most important thing for them when trading is to have a community. Now, obviously, we have the Alpha Capital Group Discord. I'm not sure if you're a part of that, but there's so many great people in there that, you know, you can talk to, and they will help you through any struggles you may face within your trading, because everyone's going through the same situation.
Yeah, that's exactly what I love about Alpha Capital Group as well, the customer service. I'm in the Discord group. I love the fact today when there's news at 7 tonight on the US market, they literally show a picture of what it can be like It can be like a short consolidation and a huge drop. And for new traders, a few people who probably got funded accounts and whatnot, they know the rules of not really be nowhere near loose, no point of it. Other than that, these new traders, they might be involved in it and they don't know the risk they're actually in. So them pictures are like great. I was looking at it today, actually. They posted one and I just thought, how helpful is that? And then like literally, I forgot to mention, I'm a postman as well. I'm a delivery driver for Royal Mail. That's what I do in my daytime. I'm Portland in London. It's a part of me. And it helps in my lifestyle because I like to be up early. So I'm on the 5, have my coffee, have a look at the charts and whatnot for the day, and then I go to work. But at the work, it's good as I'm a paid people person. You get to talk to people, you know, and you finish early with these guys. So you still got time to get home, do what you got to do, go to the gym and whatnot. So yeah, it's wicked to have these opportunities, you know. So I can go from a long way in my life. You can go from where you're at now to hopefully on this trading floor, to be honest.
Well, I'm telling you now, this is the start to something that could be huge one day, Andrew, because I'm telling you now, I can see that drive in you and you've got a big why behind it. And every great success story, they're the two things that, you know, every successful person has got behind them. And that's kept them going to get to their goals. So I definitely believe you could, you know, achieve everything you've got set out in front of you, mate. So, Andrew, what is some of the biggest struggles you face along the way?
So mate, just consistency, and just to be honest, it's money struggles as well. Money struggles is the one, because obviously you've got to live. I live in central London, rent's high, you have your job and whatnot, overtime's available. But once you're putting this into these investments and courses, what you want to learn and stuff like that, it all adds up. And especially when you start blowing accounts, it's a feeling like no other for me. It was literally like you lost everything. And it's not that deep, but it's because of the money. It's because you're caring about the money too much, and probably sometimes you haven't got the money to do it. But that's the commitment you got to have, you know, like not the fact that you make yourself broke and do whatever you got to do. But if you want to sort of proceed in something, you got to invest in yourself or invest in something. Because it's like, you think of it, you open a business, you're investing 40 grand in that business before it makes a penny.
You've got to take the risk. You've got to take risks in this life. Otherwise you'll miss massive opportunities.
I can't, it boils my blood that I've had to sort of work in a 9-to-5 system because of where I live, and not that fact that it's everyday life. I don't want to sound arrogant when I say that. That's terrible for me. It's not that at all. It's the fact that I work for a company where I can't progress, and if I do progress, it's very minimal sort of jump. There's no investment in the company. There's no shares for me in the company for what I'm working for. So it feels like it's a dead end. So let me rephrase that. It's not that I feel my blood boils that I work a 9-to-5, because I don't. It's not that. It's the fact that I work for a company where I can't progress. And it's like, it's time for me to, like I said, to like, with the DJing was great. I just couldn't hack the lifestyle it sort of came with along the way. Yeah. And it's very, and if you want to talk about lonely, that is a lonely industry, because you, at the party, yeah, you're great, you're the man, everyone's fascinated by you, whatnot. But after that, you go from that high on stage in front of 10,000 people to that, and you're on your own in a hotel room in Italy or wherever. Yeah, and you that is lonely. Let me tell you that. All the flights on your own is lonely. And so trading, it was nothing to me, to be honest with you. So it was painful with losing stuff and like I said, money struggles, but it was also frustration because you're trying to learn too much. I think if you want a strategy, what you've seen works from others or your mentor or whoever you're learning from or whatnot, just try and stick to it for a while. Just live trade on a demo account or whatever over a month, and just see how many times it works, you know, with a good percentage. Because I don't think a lot of people know. Well, I definitely didn't. What about the risk percent? You think you do, but you don't at all. All this you're losing how much at a time. It's ridiculous, because in the future, if you try to do these sort of things with your funding account, it's not seen as a good trader. So I don't see why companies would even want to work with you over that, you know? So it's like, you're there forgetting that the company sees everything you do. You know, they're like, they've seen if you're putting a stop loss on, what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. So if you can show them without talking to them that, look, I am a manageable trader, then this gives you an opportunity to say, all right, well, look, this guy is really sticking to his guns, win or lose. He's sticking to his guns and he's profitable. So I think that shows a lot about personality without even meeting someone.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people get confused when it comes to prop firms nowadays and get lost in the sense of what prop firms actually are. A lot of people we see now may come and buy a challenge and put full max lots on it and punt news. And yeah, they might make a lot of money or blow the account, but then if they blow it, they'll buy another one and do the same thing the next day.
Yeah.
And what that does is, yes, it can make you some money, but that's not the kind of traders we want. We want people who are going to go ahead and trade and try and give this a proper go. We are not here to be just like a casino. We're not a casino. We're a trading prop firm. And now bringing Alpha Prime into the scene, we want traders that want to get themselves on that floor. So we need real results. And that's where people get confused, because we're not banning you or rejecting you or sending you on your way because you're making lots of money. You're making money through means of which is no use to us. We don't want you as a trader. We want an actual trader who is, for example, a good trader. Let me break that down for you. What is a good trader? A good trader, someone that has correct risk management.
Yeah.
And risking a correct risk to reward. Doesn't matter as long as it's consistent and you're not changing that up, because we need to be able to see when you lose how much it is, when you win how much roughly it is, okay? Correct risk management, disciplined traders who are being smart around news, not gamblers and not people who are making punts and risks and account rolling and buying as many accounts as they can, because it doesn't matter if they blow it, they can just buy another one. And when they do pass because they've made a news trade, they've made all the profit. These are not the traders Alpha Capital wants. We want traders who want to use these markets correctly and get themselves on that progression ladder, on a trading floor in London. You know, that's a massive opportunity. Huge.
If that's not a goal to look at as a trader who trades with this company, I don't know what you're doing. It's like, this is exactly what I want. Before you even told me about this, I wrote to you in an email and I said to you how much I wanted to be a part of a team and have that experience, because like I said, trading is not about just being on the charts all day and being lonely and whatnot, as it made out to be. It can be, don't get me wrong, but as it made out to be, I want that team, I want that energy around me. I want it to like the olden days of trading, where in like it's sort of a Wall Street, where that you walk in that room and the energy is just flying, everyone's happy and everyone's happy to see each other and whatnot, but where you're making good progress with yourself, like you're learning, you're making profits for yourself and the company, you know, like that. I think that's the key. It's a key goal for me. Now it is. Now I definitely know that. That's 100%. I'm down for it. And so when you was on about the risk management, when you was looking at my trade earlier, you was happy with my risk management when I was talking about where it was, I think it was 0.7 to 1% within that trade.
Absolutely, because what I'm looking at when I talk about risk management is we will see traders risk 4%, 4.5%, and completely risk the entirety of the account's health for one trade. Now that for me, that doesn't work. That's not long-term correct risk management. Now for yourself, that is great risk management. And what you've got to look at is on a long-term perspective. You've got to look, is this going to work long-term? How many trades have I got to lose this account? Right, it's this much. What is my biggest losing streak? Right, it's this much. Right, what can I afford to risk? That is how you calculate your risk management.
Yeah.
You go on your losing streak scale, see what your biggest losing streak is, see what the maximum you can risk is. Easy as that. It is as simple as that. Risk management for me has always been something I've been super locked in on and super concentrated on, because that was what the first thing I learned. I didn't learn about how to make profit or strategy. It was risk management, because that's all I kept hearing. Psychology, risk management, that is the first thing I wanted to learn. And I just implemented little rules. For me at the start, it was trading once a day, risking 1%. That's it. That's all I could do. Win or lose, I had one shot. And then I'd spend hours back testing. So it's a case of you've got to perfect everything first. You've got to get these building blocks in place. Because that's how you become a real trader. And that's how you get yourself in good positions. You take the time to learn a skill properly. Not traders who are jumping on news, punting a full max daily. What are we meant to do for you as a trader if you are not trading and using these charts correctly? We are trying to offer all traders the best opportunity in the world and work on a real life trading floor. A remote job as well. You don't have to work on the floor, it's remote, so you can work from home if you wish.
Yeah, I'd like to come to the floor as well. You know, like I said, I just want to be around people who are doing the same interests as me. Like I said, when I worked in the music, you don't realize how lucky you are. You're meeting a DJ from the Netherlands, for instance, right? And you don't realize how lucky you are to meet this person who fires the same passion you have, you know? And you take it for granted, and we all do, right? We meet someone who's also into trading. Yeah, you take it for granted. Take it as a blessing in a way, because it's like, you're meeting someone who's got the same passion as you. It's very rare. So many people in the world, you know? So if I'd say it's sort of to take with that mindset and be around people like that, and you don't have to be talking all day or nothing like that, but just even listening, you know? Listening is very powerful. Just open stuff, day. And then before you know it, you're at home, you're looking at something and you heard it a week ago and it's like, oh, there you go. You see what I mean? So that's what I want to be around. Obviously, it would be great just to feel the energy, like I said before.
Everyone's got that opportunity, mate. And the thing that I learned, it's all about the people you meet. You know, I sit in this office and I just listen because there's so many knowledgeable people in here that are starting this business, that business. And you just sit back and you listen. Because I tell you now, I have learned so much from just being here. And I definitely agree with you on that. It's about being around the right people. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. It's so true.
Exactly what it is. And I just feel like at the moment where my circle was just very party related. It was just a group of party friends, man. And we're like, don't get me wrong, I love and care about all of them. But it was just generally, that's our interests. And that's how we met, you know? So our interests were just music and just festivals and this, that, the other, holidays. So I understand it's just when I wanted to connect deeper and, like I said, learn about this stuff, it's very limited to the people I can talk to because they don't understand it. They completely see it. It's just, oh, what, that gambling? And I'm like, so I can't even bother just to entertain it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go waste my energy because I'm not going to get nowhere. So it would be nice just to be around people.
Exactly, mate, exactly. So I want to know now, you obviously have told me a few of the struggles you faced along the way. So how did you actually go ahead and overcome these?
Looking at myself in the mirror, mate, to be honest with you, it was really deep for me, to be honest, because I started thinking where I could have been in my music career when I started doing this, really taking like time out to really get involved in trading. And don't get me wrong, I could be a lot further, but I don't feel like my heart was there no more. So it was like I had to really just dig deep and be like, look, do I actually want to do this? Because obviously I was not seeing results. And like I said, I was just overlearning, not getting nowhere at all, or close and then no cigar in a way. So I had to just have a really, really deep like conversation with myself many times and be like, look, you can do this. So there's no reason you can't. Every reason you're not doing it is because of the old reason you said you wouldn't do. So it was just getting that discipline, mate. And it was sort of realizing that I don't need to be on the charts from 6 a.m. till 10 p.m. That is ridiculous. Like you think your head is going to be able to sort that out after 3 hours. It's more crazy. You think maybe you can. I can't. I'm not going to judge everyone, but from my personal experience, sitting there, and that I think is gambling. You might as well just be on the slots. Just be like, all right, it's going up, it's going down, blah, blah, blah. Now the fact that I've got the payout, and the good thing about this payout, right, that I put my first payout in, but a part of it was rejected because it was when Donald Trump was still speaking the day he took over. That's completely fair play. Like I didn't know he was still speaking, so it's my error. So that got deducted, but what that done for me was so beautiful because now I know so to detail when I trade, the times I trade, away from news. I check if the speech is done online, complete everything. So it's to the T. There's no way I'm going to mess up and risk something. Like, so it's done me the world of good. Even some people would see that as like a real bad thing. Oh, I've lost money, blah, blah, blah. I don't. Like, I see it as another investment in myself. And now I've learned the last key I needed in myself, that last bit of discipline where you think, oh, you know what? I might go over. And then this is just like a little slap on the head the minute you get to that bit, because it's like, you know, that's it. And it's just made me amazing. So the Alpha Capital Group, for doing that to me, has made me, it's going to make me the trader I am, 100%. I feel lifted. I don't feel like, what it's done to me is crazy. I just feel like I'm ready, so ready.
Well, mate, honestly, that means the world to us that we are helping you progress in your trading journey. Now, you've come on here today, mate, and I must say, you've got a hell of a story. You've got a hell of a why. And I genuinely actually really believe that you could potentially be one of the next few Alpha Prime traders out there. Because you're very disciplined, you've got the reasoning behind it, and I can see you want this. You can see that hunger. Before I let you go, what is 3 top tips you give to a beginner trader starting out today?
Right. Treat your funded accounts like a business. Please don't try and do it in a week. Don't try and think you can just be this profitable guy in 2 weeks. It's just take the time, because the more you rush, the more you'll fail and the more money you'll spend. Also, if you're going to do it, in my opinion, pick 1 pair for now. You don't need to do 5 pairs. I think 1 pair. I trade the US 30. That's it. I've tried everything you can think of, every Forex, every indice, everything you can think of. I like the US 30 personally. Just try it on your first account, just that pair, not the US 30, whatever you like, and just see how it goes. You don't need to train your brain to just learn that 1 pair instead of 100 and trying to focus on as a new trader. It's never going to work, in my opinion. 3, like I said, what we were just talking about, risk management and discipline. Learn it early, look at yourself, like never blow an account. That was your key element from the start, which I wish I learned. Now I do. I'd love to give that advice to people, is risk management and just discipline, really discipline yourself. Follow rules, be the trader who you are, have the confidence in what you're doing. And if you, like you said, if you're doing interviews that show people that what you're doing, like this is what you're doing, this is where you want to be, this is how I want to trade. Be confident in it, and what's wrong? This is who you are, you know? That's my tips, just do it, get involved.
Well, folks, there you have it, Andrew's top tips. Andrew, thank you for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully every single one of you can take something from what Andrew has given us today. So I will see everyone in the next one. Thanks for joining me.
Cheers, boys.